Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to upgrade the hard drive to an SSD on this Dell Inspiron model 3472. Alright, so there's the model number. You know it's kind of blurry. The thing is in the widescreen mode or something, whatever you call it. Alright, wide angle view. Anyways, we're going to use a PH2 or JS2 screwdriver, and we're going to remove the two screws here. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove those two screws. Alright, set those aside. Once you've gotten those two screws out, we're going to slide this panel back, so just grab under here. I like to use my, I don't know if these are considered knuckles as well, but I like to use that, and I like to just pull it like that, okay? And then once we got that, we can lift this cover off. Here you can see the hard drive. It's a 3.5-inch SATA hard drive right now. The hard drive is actually dead. The fan is actually really dusty here, so I'm going to clean that up as well. Let me actually zoom in a bit here to show you guys. It's actually, from that angle, you don't see crazy amount of dust. There you go. All right. So actually on here, they give you all the instructions. So interesting. So they actually have a dedicated 2.5-inch SATA hard drive slot, I guess. I don't see one here, so I don't know, but here you go. You actually get the instructions here, how to take off the front panel, how to take out the screws to remove the hard drive, unplug the cables, and then you can slide the hard drive out. As you can see, there's two screws here. So I'm going to show this. Here you can see how to remove the optical disk drive. Same thing, you move the front panel here, then you get those screws out, disconnect the optical disk drive, slide that, and then slide this. It's a little confusing from these instructions, so hopefully I'll be able to show you. And here you see they have it to remove the two 2.5-inch SATA hard drives. So I guess in some models they have two hard drives stacked together, and then they have a little bracket. So this one doesn't have that bracket. So yeah, we're gonna have to just find another way to mount it. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove the front panel. So let me see if I can show you this. I know it's going to be blurry. Anyways, these are the clips for the front panel. So you're going to pull up on it and pull it out. All right. So we're going to do like that and just go like that. Once you get all those out, it helps to kind of hang the front of the computer over the edge of a desk, or you have to kind of lift it up slightly. Then you can swing it down here and you can pull it out like that. There's some dust in here, so I'm going to try and clean this stuff up. All right. So here you go. You got the front panel here. And it just looks like that. All right, we'll set that aside. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the screws. So there was a screw hidden under there. Again, we're gonna use the PH2 or JS2 screwdriver. I zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully it's a little clearer. All right, I'm gonna take these out. I'm gonna keep all these screws in order. I do that by putting flat side down like that on my desk in the power, and I remove them. These screws look to be about the same, so it's probably not a big deal, but I'm gonna do it anyways. All right, so we'll take those two screws out. Let's see if we're following the instructions they say. Front panel, take those two screws out. Tells you to unplug these two. All right, and then it says there's two other screws here, but I don't know how you would get access to that. I think we have to take out the CD drive cables as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove these. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to just wiggle this as I pull it. You want to try and keep it flat. You don't want to bend this up and down because you can damage that. Okay. Sorry, I got a customer messaging right now. I'm trying to read those. All right. Now we're going to grab this cable and we're going to wiggle and pull this out. Okay. Oh, that's stuck. Is there a clip under there? No? Oh, actually, the whole hard drive comes up just like that. That's actually nice. Okay. So it looks like you have to slide this slightly. Okay, as you can see, the hard drive can slide. If your hard drive is working, this hard drive is dead, so it's not a big deal. But you don't want to like keep shaking it around too much like that. So slide it back like that, and here you can see we can lift this out. There's no clip holding the hard drive, so I'm just going to grab this and then kind of just wiggle and pull it. There we go. More dust is falling out. And here you see there are two hard drives under here holding, or two screws holding the hard drive into this caddy. Again, I don't know how I'm going to hold the 2.5-inch SATA SSDs into place. I mean, because it's an SSD, it's not a big deal. If it's not held in place, it's okay if it moves around. But anyways, let's go ahead and remove these two screws so that we can pop this hard drive out. There's actually a lot of empty open space in this computer, so technically I don't even have to remove this hard drive from the computer. I can just leave it up here somewhere in this empty area. So they reuse this case design for other models. So normally they would actually put a power supply here, but on this specific model they're basically using almost like a laptop motherboard. Anyways, let's go ahead and get the hard drive out of here. So here you can see we can slide the hard drive out. So if you're putting another 2.5 inch or another 3.5 inch SATA hard drive, you can actually just reuse this caddy and put that back. So here I see there's it says 2.5 inch hard drive. I guess that's if you get the special bracket, because I don't see how you can do anything with this. Alright, so if you get another model with the 2.5 inch SATA hard drive bracket, then you can do that. Alright, so let's see if we can get this out. So if you're getting the optical disk drive, it looks like there's a screw over here, okay? So it looks like if you were to do it that way, so let's say this was still here, okay? It looks like you still have to remove these two screws and this screw, alright? And then you'd also have to, let me see here, is that correct or no? According to this, you only remove these two screws, but I think you have to remove this as well. So let's see here. Let's try just removing that one screw and see if we can slide the optical disk drive out. I'm going to show the RAM and stuff just so you guys can see. Okay. So here you can see, okay, now this whole piece, okay, I guess that's right. So there's a little latch here. They actually label it with a blue thing. So I guess if you remove these two, you can push this latch in, and then we can, as you can see, slide this whole piece out. I'm going to pull these cables out, all right? So let me get this out, all right? And this orange cable out as well. So the orange one is for data, and this one is for power. Same thing, this is for power, and then this one is for data. All right, anyways, you can slide that forward and then you can lift this out, and yeah, that's true, you can leave that one screw in there. So here we have the optical disk drive. You can actually take these screws out here. I think you have to take that screw out to get it out. Yeah, so you'd have to take this one screw out, and then it looks like after you remove that screw, you can actually slide this whole optical disk drive. Oh, nope, there's two more screws back here, so you have to remove those two. Then you can slide this optical disk drive out. They do have adapters to make this into another hard drive slot, so if you want, you can actually get an adapter and then make this have another hard drive slot here, a 2.5 inch SATA hard drive slot. But there you go. There's the BIOS or Cmos battery here. Let me zoom in a bit. I am getting customers. Oh shoot, I left my thing charging, so now my phone's hot and it's probably making static noise. I turned it off. So there's this Cmos BIOS battery here. If you want to remove it, let's see, how do you even get this one out? I'm not sure how to get this out. I don't want to mess with it, but most likely you would pry this piece out. But again, I don't want to mess with it since the customer's not having any issues with that. We got the only one RAM stick. Pull these two tabs to the side. Once you do that, you can look at here. All right, it's a 4 gig stick of RAM. Oh, sorry, it's not focusing. Come on, focus. There you go. So it's a 4 gig PC4 2400T. You can replace this with any PC4 2400T. So if you want, you can get a 16 gig stick. All right. Oh, it's getting dust inside, so I'm going to clean off the pins. I'm going to clean out the fan outside. All right. And then we'll be back. Anyways, I need to clean all of this. It's pretty dusty here. You got the fan. This looks like a standard CPU or case fan connection, but I don't know if it uses a special connection because there's all these different colored wires. And the CPU looks like it might actually be soldered to the motherboard, so I don't think you can even upgrade the CPU. But anyways, the only other thing in here to look at is this jumper here. So they don't label to tell you what each one does. That, at least as far as I can see, I don't see a. Usually they'll have a little chart that tells you what each one does, but most likely one is for a BIOS password reset. The other one's probably for like BIOS or Cmos password reset. You got this connector for the power switch, so if the power button's broken, you can actually replace that assuming you can find one. Then you got the wireless card down here, one screw. This looks like a PH1 or JS1 screw. You can take this plastic bracket off, and then you can pop the tails of the antennas off. If you want to see how to replace that, you can actually watch another of my videos on laptops. They all have this same type of wireless card. Anyways, I'm going to clean this out, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's a lot of other components here. I don't know what this lock thing is showing here. It doesn't look like this moves at all. There's a screw here, it seems. Okay, it looks like this thing can actually swing outwards somehow. I'm not sure how, so I guess I'm not going to mess with it. Oh, I see. There's one screw holding here. If you remove this screw, this whole piece actually swings outwards. So it looks like if you need to remove the motherboard, you would have to take this one screw out here, the black one. And then that's a PH2 or JS2. And then you can actually swing this door open. There's this screw here that acts as a hinge. Okay, and then if you wanted to add, well, I guess this isn't, they just reused the case. On some models they have PCI cards here, and you can open this and add new cards, but as you can see, there's nothing here for this motherboard. So that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and slide this all back into place. So we're gonna now put the hard drive, optical drive assembly back into place. So we're gonna just, you have to drop it down here. Here you can see this part sticks out. Let me actually zoom in a bit to make this easier to see. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. So it has to drop in from here. You can see this part, it sticks out a little bit, so it has to go behind this metal piece here that protrudes out. I don't know if you can't really see it well. There, this metal piece here that sticks out. Okay, so we're gonna drop that in, slide that back over. Okay, it looks like we do have to push this latch in again to get it to go over properly. There we go. Get it to go properly. Now you can see the screw holes line up. Okay, yeah, let's actually go ahead and put this one screw back in first. So we'll put this screw here. Okay. Is it lining up? It's being a little weird here. So this piece, it's not completely lined up, so you kind of have to pull it into place to get it to line up properly, and then you can get it and get the screw in. Okay, so I think it's being a little weird. It's going in at a weird angle and it's having some issues. Here we go. So the screw shouldn't be super hard to turn. If it is, that means you're putting it at a wrong angle and you're actually stripping out the screw hole, so be careful with that. Alright, now we're just going to get these cables back in, just line it back up, push that into place, get that back in, push that into place. Alright, we're going to take the hard drive caddy back out here. Let's see which way we can put this in. Can we flip this over? Because if I really wanted to put this here, I don't know if that will work just because the way the cables are. So how would we mount this properly? We might have to just leave it rattling around in there because I don't see a way that we can actually get this to go properly. So it would actually sit upside down this way. So if you don't have the bracket, you can probably use some double stick tape or something, and you can attach it to this somehow. So maybe you can just tape it down in here. But I don't know. I don't have any tape that's really that strong. You can get smaller tape and wrap it around from here to here if you really wanted to. But again, it's an SSD. It doesn't matter if it's rattling around. So we're just going to put that, connect it and put that in there. All right, so let's go ahead and reconnect these cables. And we'll put this here. This area isn't flat enough to really put a double stick tape or anything. You see there's these sliding mechanisms that stick up. So yeah, it looks like we're just gonna have to put that there. You can maybe get some screws on the side here actually. Let me actually get that. So here you can see you can actually get 2 screws on the side here. I'm gonna try to see if I have some screws that are wide enough to fit that and keep it into place. So let's see, the 2.5 inch. These are like larger screws than normal computer laptop type screws. So I don't have any that are super wide, except maybe these weird, no. We're probably just gonna have to use some screws and hope it's wide enough. You can probably add some washers maybe. Yeah, these are weird shaped, they're not gonna work. Okay. And then this is probably way too long. So I guess we'll just use some regular size screws and hopefully it will work. Let's see, this one is a bit wider, so maybe we'll use that. Oh, okay, the sound scared me. I thought it fell somewhere. Okay, so we got that one. I need ones that are like wider on the top. Okay, so we'll try these two and we'll see. Okay, let's see if we can get these in. I am going to switch to a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver because these screws are smaller. Okay, so it looks like I can. Oh, the wires will actually also somewhat hold it in place, so I don't know if the screws are even going to do anything. Let's see. Let's get another screw in here. These wires are in the way. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's not going to reach on both sides. It'll only reach one. So if you were to do this, you'd probably need like a big washer that will fit this, but I don't have a washer to fit this. So I might have to just leave it as is. Let me see. The other way I can actually like angle it slightly, it seems. Let's try that. Okay. So I'm gonna try and angle this so that one is down and the other side is up. I'll show you what I mean once, if this works, I'll show you what I mean. But it might come loose, we'll see. I'm gonna tighten this as much as I can, try and hold it in place. I think this screws, the one on the front is not as good, but it looks like it's holding. Trying to tighten it as much as I can. Okay, so that actually is holding, so that might be a good solution. Okay, so I got 2 screws. Oh, what's rolling in there? Huh, when did I get a second screw in here? Okay, so there was a second screw. I'm gonna use, maybe I should use this one, I don't know. Okay, let me show you guys what I did. So here you go. I did this diagonally. I don't know if you can see it here. So I raised the back end slightly up so that the screw is actually grabbing into the back here. As you can see, if I push on it and hit it, it's holding really strong. And then I'm hitting this and it's staying. So there you can see the other screw. So basically what I did was I kind of tilted it at an angle like that, and now it's holding pretty strong. So hopefully this bracket will, oh shoot. So this bracket won't go back in now. That's kind of annoying. Huh. I thought I found a solution, but I guess not. I mean, technically this bracket isn't needed anymore. But sorry, I'm just experimenting with this to see different ways we can mount this. I'm gonna try another way and we'll see. Maybe I have to mount it into this bracket just because this bracket is the one that needs to be in place, right? Okay, so yeah, there's not really a way to mount it into this bracket that I can find. So it looks like we're out of luck here. I don't like how this is wrapping over that, so I'm gonna unplug this and put this over this way. Now we have more slack. But technically, if I wanted, I can flip it upside down, I think. And then let's see if I can get some screws through the bottom to hold it in that case. So I'm going to take these out. Sorry, this is ending up being a long video of just wasting time, but I kind of like to see what I can do here. The other option is you can, no, it's not long enough to do that. Alright, so I'm going to flip this over upside down like this and see if I can mount this into this bracket somehow. So maybe I can get at least one screw mounted in there. Okay, here you can see I can get like one screw lined up here. So I'm going to take one screw and I'm just going to get that in, and hopefully that will hold that in place as long as I get it in a good angle. Okay, it looks like it's holding. So it does have to kind of swing over quite a bit. But it looks like this works. I'm going to slide that over. You can see this cable can reach, and we can kind of like swing it out a little. Okay, so it looks like that will work. And then, ooh, if I pull it far enough, maybe I can get a second screw in. Barely. No, not really. Okay, I thought maybe I could fit a screw over there, but it looks like no, that's not going to happen. So, okay, let me put back these big screws here, and then I'll tighten that down. But that looks like it will work. Hopefully that cable is not going to hit the roof of the case. Oops, sorry. Let's get this screw up here in. Okay, sorry for this big waste of time, guys. Get this screw in here as well. Alright. Then we'll take this screwdriver. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't fit another screw in there. It's like barely, but no. If I really tried, actually, nah, that's not gonna fit. Okay, so it should be good enough. I'm just gonna tighten this one into place. And here you can see that it's actually really hard to even rotate it this way now, so that should be good. Again, make sure these cables don't get damaged, just in case. So I'm gonna try and route these to make them as flat as possible. Let's zoom out. Now we're just, oops, too much. Now we're just gonna put the cover back on. What did I take these two screws? Oh, these two screws were holding in the hard drive before, but again, we took that out, so we don't need that anymore. So we're just gonna now put this cover back on. Let's put the front panel first. So to put the front panel, you want to get the bottom feet in first at an angle like this. All right. I know it's hard for you guys to see this. All right, just like that. You can swing these in. Then we're gonna swing it over and click that all back into place. Okay, and now we're gonna get the bottom cover back on. So to do this, just start with it slightly further back. So here you can see the front like that. All right, so there you go, like that, and then slide that up. There we go, we're good to go. Just going to now tighten back in the last two screws that were holding the back panel on. Depending on if you were upgrading your computer or if you're doing a new Windows clean install, you can actually clone your hard drive to the SSD before doing this. So that way, the moment you turn your computer back on, it will already have the operating system. In this case, I'm going to do a clean install. Okay, but other than that, we're pretty much good to go. So hopefully this video helped you guys. I know I spent a lot of time trying to do stuff that wasn't necessary or didn't actually work, but hopefully it helped you guys anyways. Thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna put these screws into the old hard drive just in case they want them for some reason. I have a million of these screws, so I don't really have a need for them. So let's go ahead and put these screws here. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.